students, right here on your YouTube channel Diksha Vedantu. We are back with the new chapter, Agriculture. Before starting the chapter, I want you to picture this. It's 6 a.m. in the morning, right? One farmer in the village ties a turban, takes his plow and went to plow the land, the soil, right, and started his day of agriculture, farming. This is the picture of a village, every village of India right now. But what if one day the farmer decides that this is the world of growth, this is the world of development, let me also work in a technological field, let me learn AI and quit this farming. What if then? We will be not having our wheat for lunch, rice for dinner, and most important, my dear kids, you will not have potatoes for your french fries, tomatoes for your pizza, and the most heartbreaking thing, no Maggie for your midnight cravings. And this will become a harsh reality because you know agriculture is not just a chapter, it is life, right? So basically everything from your plate to your clothes, everything is the result of agriculture, right? We get our life because of agriculture, not only food, right? All the festivals we celebrate like Onam, Pongal, Sankranti, or it is about Baisakhi, everything is revolving around the growing season and the harvesting of crops. So basically this is not just your geography chapter, it is really about learning life, right? So come on, every students out here, let us make this boring geographical chapter into an interesting life story by this video. I want to welcome you again on the YouTube channel Diksha Vedantu. This is Tanvi Pauja, your SST faculty, and by today I promise you that you are going to ace this chapter, that is agriculture, right? I know students, there are some fear in mind about geography, but do you know that as geography is backbone of SST, this agriculture is backbone of every Indian citizen right here, right? Not only Indian, everyone in the world rely totally upon agriculture, right? Talking particularly about agriculture in India, India is an agrarian country. Do you know what it is? Agrarian means in India, the dominant economic activity is agriculture. So basically, India is an agriculture dominant nation where 70% of its citizens rely on agriculture, right? Either we talk about the consumption of goods or if we talk about participation of people in the agriculture activities, then also it's 70% of the population that is working in the agriculture field in this 21st century only, right? In this century when there are million of opportunities around, but this economic activity holds utter importance in the life of an individual. We are aware about that. We are even aware about that. Still the income they are earning is very less in comparison to secondary and tertiary sector. We are about that, right? We can see that the cases of suicide in the farming areas and by the farmers is quite more in comparison to the other sectors. We are aware that the profit earning, they are not the profit earning people in India nor in the world. So why? If we are dependent so much on agriculture, this many population, 70% of the population is dependent on agriculture, then what are the problems that still exist? So by this chapter, my dear students, let us know about the importance of agriculture, some important crops, important what we can say seasons of agriculture, and last but not the least, the technological and institutional reforms introduced by the Indian government in agriculture sectors. Okay, stay connected to the end of the chapter because in the end I have given you some important questions that are definitely going to be the part of your final exams. Okay, so yes, let us start that India is an agriculture dominant nation. 2/3 of its population, as I just told you, that 75%, around 75% of Indian population is dependent somewhere directly or indirectly in agriculture activities. It is engaged in agriculture activities, right? So Types of farming. So basically in your NCERT book, right, in your NCERT book, according to exam perspective, they had tell us that there are different types of farming. Now you know that this is 21st century, that is very technologically advanced, very much technologically advanced, and the type of farming that used to be practiced around 2000 3000 years ago will not be same now, right? So let us learn that process, how gradually the farming has evolved, and this is all about what about types of farming. Okay, so basically there are three types of farming. The first one is primitive subsistence farming. See, this is what primitive subsistence farming. Decode each of the word now. Primitive means something which is old, okay, which is being practiced from an older time. Okay, I'm not talking about your teacher here. So primitive subsistence here basically, right? The word subsistence means anything that is only for your need, or we can say only for your survival. For an example, you need a bowl of rice today. So that is subsistence for you today. But if you need a bowl of rice, you will not go and bring 1 quintal of rice. Will you do that? No. Rather, you will only buy something for your subsistence, that is fulfilling your demand for that day. Okay. So it can be a subsistence for your family. Okay, so primitive means something that is old, subsistence means for your need, and this is a type of farming. So basically when you need a limited amount of grains, then you will not do farming in a very large land. Rather, this practice is done in small patches of land, because this is done only for your requirement. Okay, and this practice was done by primitive tools, that means old tools, not the technologically advanced one like hoe, dhow and digging stick. So we know that there are several processes. We need to plow the land before farming, right? So all that was done by a hoe, dhow and digging stick, that are basically the primitive tools used in agriculture field, right? This type of farming depends upon monsoon and natural fertility of soil. So now we know that because of technologically advanced arena, many such things has been introduced like biochemicals, fertilizers, pesticides to artificially increase the fertility of the soil. But in this type of farming, because look, primitive, that means it has continued since ages. At that time, they were not aware about the fertilizers, chemical pesticides. Rather, they were dependent upon the natural cycle. Like for an example, if we need to grow Kharif crop, they will wait for the rainy season. Rather than that, they will grow in a region where artificially they will provide irrigation, not done now. So they were waiting for what? Monsoon season, and everything revolves around the monsoon. It was totally natural fertility of soil. No external thing was added here. Okay, getting my point? Give me a thumbs up if it is done. Okay, it is also slash and burn agriculture, my dear kids. You're studying this slash and burn agriculture since I guess 7th class. But if you're not remembering, right, it is a high time, because this is our last chance. After 10th, you're not going to study SST. So slash and burn your SST. Don't do that, okay? This is my favorite subject. So talking about slash and burn, what happened in the previous time now? Because look, there were no external items to be added to increase the fertility of soil. If you are growing crops in the land again and again, right, for one agriculture year, then for other agriculture year, it will definitely lose its fertility. But now they don't have any supplements to increase the fertility. So what people at that time does now, they find a patch of land, okay, it was forested area. They need to cut what? They need to cut the trees. Okay, they need to cut the trees, remove the roots of the trees, then they will grow crops over there. Once done, when they find that this land has lost the fertility, they will burn it. Right? After burning this, the ashes will definitely mix in the soil so that it can regain its fertility. When they burned that land, they moved to the another one and did the same process over there. This is known as what? Slash and burn agriculture. Hope you understood it. Okay, last time students, don't lose this chance. Slash and burn, move to another land, slash and burn, move to the another one, and this cycle goes on. And do you know, in some northern states of India, this type of cultivation is also known as zooming cultivation. Okay, it is also known as zooming cultivation. In your NCERT book, some other words like milpa is also being mentioned, which was called by the people of Mexico, right? So many such terms are given in a box in your NCERT, not so important for your exam perspective, not that much fact will be asked. Okay, now coming towards the next type of farming. Now look, the word intensive subsistence farming. Now the word primitive is replaced by intensive. Okay, the word primitive is replaced by intensive. Now what is intensive over here? Basically this is practiced in the areas of high population pressure on land. Now what is this? Right, consider a situation, there is a land where 4 people used to live. Okay, there was no pressure on the land, but now all those 4 people got married, have their kids, right, and the family eventually got expanded. Now all those people are dependent upon their land, but they need to grow more because now the stomach has increased in number in their life. So basically to feed all of them, what will be done? The pressure on the land will increase to grow more, to produce more crops, right? Do you think that more crops can be grown so easily? No. This is a type of farming where more laborers will be required because they need to produce more. More people will be required, and hence this type of farming is known as labor intensive farming. That means more number of people is required from the prior one. Got my point? So it is a labor intensive farming. To increase the production, high doses of biochemicals, see the point here, high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation, artificial irrigation, right? Here what was done? Everything was done on the basis of nature, monsoon, etc. Now, to increase the production, artificial irrigation was used, and one and the most important thing. Now consider there is a land of 2 acres. Okay, there is a land of 2 acres. Here is a father, right? He has got 2 sons. Here is a father, he has got 2 sons. All 3 of them were producing in this 2 acre of land, but both of them got married. Now when both of them got married, they were asking their father, give us land, give us the right of land. Suddenly one day their father got dead, and eventually this land was divided into 2 parts to both the families, right? And this is known as right of inheritance. What it is known as? Right of inheritance. This led to the division of land. Got my point? This led to the division of land, and this eventually increases the pressure on the land. Got my point? So basically we started with primitive subsistence, moved to intensive subsistence, but now the greed of the people increasing day by day, right? And now the third type of farming, that is commercial farming. What it is? Commercial farming. Here the farming was done to fulfill the requirements and need of that small family. Eventually the small family got what we can say increase in number. The pressure on the land increased, right? And they need to put more efforts to grow more. But now they are planning to sell those products. So that type of farming which is totally dependent on selling the product, not for their subsistence, not for their consumption, rather their target is commercial. This type of farming is known as commercial farming. What it is? Commercial farming. So here it requires high doses of modern inputs, that is HYV seed. HYV seed, if you don't know yet, it is high yielding variety of seed. What is the meaning of the word yield here? Look, it is high yielding variety of seeds. Okay, the word yield here means that how much production is done, how much production is what we are getting from the land. How much production we are getting from the land. Along with HYV seeds, they are using chemical fertilizers and pesticides to increase the number of production, because as much as it will be produced, the more will be sold in the market and the more will be earned. Okay, so degree of commercialization varies from one region to another. This is very important also for the terms of MCQ too. Look, now if we talk about Odisha, okay, Odisha is a region where enough quantity of rice is produced. But do you know, rice there is a subsistence crop. Mark my words, write it somewhere. Okay, so that you should not forget it in future, right? Rice in Odisha is a what? Commercial crop? No, it is a subsistence crop, because the nature, right, the monsoon, the soil which is required for soil, everything is present there. Right? Everyone in their home is producing what? Rice. So it is for subsistence level over there. But if we go to Punjab, Haryana, UP, everyone is fighting to be in the top level after Green Revolution in terms of production for wheat and rice. They're fighting for it. So there that crop has become commercial. Right? That are not the region where it is done for subsistence, like grow or eat and then enjoy. No. Rather, it is targeted to be sold in the market. So rice as commercialized crop, it is in Punjab, UP, Haryana, but not in West Bengal, Odisha. There it is a subsistence crop. So understood that point, that degree of commercialization varies from one region to another. So hope you understood all the 3 points. If not done, just give me 2 minutes, I'll make you clear once again. Okay, so there are basically 3 types of farming. Primitive, subsistence. That means depending on the old type of methods. Subsistent, that means for their requirement. Second one, that is intensive subsistence. Now an intense nature is there. So many laborers are required because pressure on the land is increased. Pressure here means population pressure. Okay, and the last one, that is commercial farming, which clearly says that it is done for commercialization to earn paisa. This is the 3 types of farming that are going to come in your exam. You can get 5 mark question, 3 mark question, or even 2 mark question from this topic. Okay, now moving towards the cropping pattern. Now look, what does this cropping pattern means that, right? We as Indian, what we can say, geographical land, are blessed to have this type of geography, right? Right from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean, right? We have variety of what we can say geophysical features. You have studied that in class 9. Okay, and we are blessed to have the terrain, the climate, the monsoon, everything is just perfect for agriculture, and this is the reason that India is an agrarian economy, okay, or agriculture dominant nation. So being an agriculture dominant nation, we have 3 cropping patterns. It is not like that you grow in January wheat and you will go and cut that in December. No. Rather, there are crops which require particular month, particular type of temperature, humidity, monsoon, etc. According to that criteria, we have divided the cropping pattern into, again repeat after me, we have divided the cropping pattern into 3 types, okay? It's Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. What it is? Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. Whenever you are learning from me SST, do not forget to repeat, okay? Because as much as you speak, you will remember them in future. So we have 3 cropping patterns, Kharif, Rabi and Zaid, and I am going to make you learn by this video. So let us first talk about Kharif. Okay, Kharif cropping season. So in this Kharif cropping season, basically crops are grown on the onset of monsoon, right? So we know that in India, the monsoon arrives in the end of June or in the starting of July, depends upon the year. So basically, in the month of July, Kharif crops are grown. I'm going to give you a trick to remember this, right? K for Kharif. K for Kharif. And this is grown in rainy season. Okay, so convert this K into R to remember that Kharif crops are grown where? In the onset of monsoon and harvested in September and October. Okay, so it is grown in onset of monsoon and harvested in September and October. The major type of crops are paddy. Look, rice. If you have seen movies, if you can connect it, rice are the type of crops which require their fields to be fed with water, right? Up till knees they wanted to be fed with water, so definitely it will grow in which season? Rainy season. So crops are majorly paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tur basically it is a pulse, okay, cotton, groundnut and soya bean. Okay, again paddy, maize, jowar, tur, groundnut, cotton and soya bean. Will you remember this? Definitely, no other option you have. The next one, that is Rabi crops. Okay, the next one, that is Rabi crops. Now look, rainy season, that means July basically. Kharif crop was grown. Let us clear that and write it very nicely so that you can understand it better. Okay, look, Kharif crops were grown in the month of July and they were up till October. Okay, after October land is left for 10 to 15 days. Now in November, on the onset of what we can say winter season, okay, either in the month of November or in the month of December, Rabi crops are grown. See, Rabi crops are grown. Again, now they are grown for some month around April. Okay, April or May. So they are harvested up till that time. So Kharif started from July up till November. In December we grow Rabi crops. They are in the field up till April and May. Now see, after this April and May, we have May, June, July. What do we have? May, June, July. And this is the time we grow Zaid crops. So Zaid crops is the third type of crop grown between Rabi and Kharif. Got the point? Coming back to the Rabi crops here, they are sown in winter from October to December, harvested between April to June. Okay, the type of crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. Wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. Okay, talking about the Zaid, which is grown in shorter period between Rabi and Kharif, छोटू period between Rabi and Kharif, they are basically like summer season crops, right? We enjoy eating watermelon in the summer season, muskmelon in the summer season. Remember likewise, right? Fascinate your studies into a very interesting thing. So we love to eat that summer cucumber particularly. All those are Zaid crops between short season Rabi and Kharif. Muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber and fodder crops also are grown particularly during this time. Okay, again, yes, it can be a 5-marker question, it can be a 3-marker question for your exams that explain about the cropping patterns in India. So you just need to answer about Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. And most important, this slide is very important for your MCQs. Okay, so hope you don't forget it. If you will forget it now, then I'm not going to leave you. Okay, coming towards the major crops of India, the most important thing from this chapter. Look, dear students, the thing we are going to study is quite difficult to be remembered. Okay, again, I'm not scaring you. I'm making you aware that, bacha, there are chances that this data you can forget in future, right? So if you are getting this information, you should pay more focus on what we are going to study. I would suggest you make a chart. Okay, make a beautiful, not beautiful, we have no time to just make it beautiful, rather make a chart, write the heading crops, as we have done in the soil also. Now I have given you a chart, so make a chart heading crop. Now this crop is grown in which cropping pattern? Is it a Kharif, it is a Rabi or Zaid crop? Okay, then you will tell that this crop require which climatic condition. Does it require high temperature, high rainfall, humidity, etc.? Then you will mention about climatic conditions over there. Okay, got my point or not? Then you will talk about features. For an example, India is second largest producer of cotton in the world, so you need to mention it now, right? Now this crop is used as fodder, you will mention the feature over here, right? And the last and the most important thing, in which area this crop is grown, and this will be enough for your examination. If you follow this, I know you will thank me later. Okay, so crop, patterns, climatic conditions, features, and at last the areas. Follow this, rock it in the exams. Okay, so basically we are going to talk about the major crops in India, and we will talk about categories such as food grains. Okay, food grains, like we will talk about rice, wheat, etc. Then we will talk about food crops other than grains. Food crops that are not grains but they are food crops, like sugarcane. Okay, then we will talk about non-food crops. Non-food crops, like you don't eat them as a food but use them. Cotton, right? Fiber crops, cotton, silk, rubber tree, very important for economy. And last but not the least, that is horticulture crops, fruits, vegetables. Okay, so these four categories we are going to study. The pattern I just told you, I need you to follow it, because this is how you can write a 5-marker question. We will start with rice. Okay, what we are going to start with is rice. Why rice is important? Because it is the staple food of most of the Indian people. Right? Do you know, students, it is the staple. Rice is the staple food crop of most of the Indian people. And you know, India is second largest producer of rice in the world after China. Whenever I will speak after, China will eventually comes in it. But yeah, there are some filters to it, I'll tell you. So basically, India is second largest producer of rice after China. Do you know that it is a Kharif crop, right? It is a Kharif crop. Now, right now, visualize one thing, that you are in a paddy field and it is necessarily filled by water, rain fed by water. So when you need this much of irrigation required, when you are going to grow it? Absolutely in rainy season, ma'am. So yes, it is a Kharif crop, requires high temperature above 25 degrees Celsius, because when there is high temperature, okay, there will be high evaporation, eventually leading to high humidity, and obviously whenever there will be high humidity, there will be high rainfall in that area. So rice are grown in the areas having high rainfall of 100 centimeter, above 100 centimeter. Do remember this. Okay, high temperature, high humidity, high rainfall. Temperature above 25 degrees Celsius, okay, and rainfall above 100 degrees Celsius. Do remember this. So this is grown in the areas of north and northeastern India. Due to canal development and irrigation, facilities are even provided to the areas which are drier, like Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. And here I am going to tell you one important thing, right? So basically around 1960s to 1970s, right, India was facing the problems after colonization, and one of the most important thing was to feed every citizen, right? To do that, we have launched Green Revolution. Green Revolution means a revolution brought in the field of agriculture, where wheat and rice will be produced in large quantity. Okay, every nation wants to be first in that stage. Everyone wants that we will win in the green revolution. Punjab, Haryana, UP took it so seriously. They started growing rice, but that region was eventually not the region which get enough of rainfall required for rice cultivation. But they are blessed with certain rivers. As we know, Punjab is the land of 5 rivers. How many rivers? 5 rivers: Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, Satluj. Okay, we know that. So they are blessed with the rivers. They have developed canal irrigation facilities and artificial irrigation facilities and started growing rice. Now, will the soil be affected? Yes. We know that soil is being affected. It became alkaline and many such problems are being raised over there. I just want you to understand that yes, rice along with northern northeastern states like West Bengal, Odisha, etc. It is also grown in the region of Punjab, Haryana and Western UP by making the irrigation facilities possible. Got my point? So again, come back. Feature, okay, one more feature, type of crop. This is a Kharif crop, climatic condition required and area in which it is grown. 5 points enough, okay. Come to the next one, that is wheat. Okay, after rice we will learn about the second most important crop, that is second most important what? Staple crop. Okay, cereal crop for India, but this is grown in Rabi season or it is a Rabi crop. Which type of crop it is, bacha? It is a Rabi crop. Okay, as it is a Rabi crop, you might just remember that it is grown in the month of either November or December, right? And it will be harvested in the month of April. We celebrate Baisakhi. Do you remember? Oh, it went, no issues. In November and December, this is sown. Okay, in the month of April, this is harvested. Do you remember celebrating Sankranti and Makar Sankranti, flying kites? Do you do that? Or we can say Baisakhi in Punjab region, again a harvesting crop celebration festival, as I told you in the starting. Yes, so it is a Rabi crop, and as it is a Rabi crop grown in December, it needs cool growing season. Keep it in mind, it requires what? Cool season during the time it is sown, and it needs bright sunshine at the time of ripening or harvesting. Okay, so it requires what? Bright sunshine at the time of ripening. Do remember that it requires 50 to 75 centimeter of rainfall. That is but obvious less than the requirement of rice. Okay, how much was for rice? Right now comment down. I want, do you remember or just got vanished from your mind? Okay, so it requires 50 to 75 centimeter of rainfall. And if you are just losing things from your mind, na, situation is pathetic, my dear students. It's right October here, right? We have no time to give a chance. Come back stronger. It requires 50 to 75 centimeter of rainfall. Achha, do you know there are 2 important wheat growing regions? Now here again we are talking about the 5th criteria, that are areas where wheat is grown. So basically one area is Ganga Satluj plain in northwest region. So if we just have a look, right, if we just have a look at the map of India, just a rough drawing, do not go on the type of drawing I drew, right? Okay, so if we just look at this, right, this particularly, let me change the pen for you so that it should be visible to you. This region where river Ganga and Satluj, all that tributaries of Indus, right, this can be considered as Ganga Satluj plain. Ganga Satluj plain region. Okay, this is considered as Ganga Satluj plain region, one region where rice is grown, northwest region. The second region particularly I'm going to show you is about this. Half of Madhya Pradesh, some parts of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. This is because here Deccan soil, in Deccan region, here black soil is available. So, two regions where, okay, pay attention, two regions where wheat is grown. In the northwest it is, okay, in the northwest it is Ganga Satluj plain, and in the Deccan it is the plain area where black soil is found. So these are the two major wheat growing regions. Okay, remember it once again, wheat is second most important cereal crop after the previous one you learned. Do you remember the name? Comment down. It is a Rabi crop because Rabi crops are grown in December. It requires a cool season, and at the time of ripening it requires a bright sunshine. Okay, talking about rainfall, less than rice, ma'am. How much? 50 to 75 centimeters, and the areas as I just told you, Ganga Satluj region and Deccan Plateau. Okay, moving further with millets. So basically millets are so much in news. Do you know, yesterday only I just saw one thing, right? Yesterday only I just saw that one Central India's first millet cafe was launched, right? So millet are basically what? They are crops which have high nutritious value, right? Indians, when we were not so much relied on wheat, rice, and we didn't change our way of living, right? So up till then we were totally relied on millets. Right from the eating of Rabi, Jowar, Bajra, right now also in Rajasthan region, Bajra is very famous. In winter season, Jowar is very famous, right? Ragi is very famous now. Everyone went diet conscious. Everyone wants to become thin, fit, etc. Everyone is doing gym. Because of its high nutritional value, the year 2023 particularly, okay, do you know, this year 2023 was declared as the year of millets. Okay, it was declared as the year of millets. So Jowar, Bajra, Ragi are some of the important millets that are grown in India. As I just told you, they have high nutritious value. They have very good roughage, micronutrients, calcium, protein, etc. Everyone is switching towards millets, right? And they don't make us feel fatty. So we should also, right, add one millet at least in your meal. You will definitely see the change, bacha. So let us start from Jowar. Okay, jowar is the third most important food crop. Basically, here third most we are referring after rice and wheat. So after rice and wheat, jowar is very important. It is a rain-fed crop mostly grown in moist areas. So we know that as it is a rain-fed crop, it might be grown in the regions where more rain is there. West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra. Okay, so it is found in the region like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh also. Okay, the next one in the list is bajra. Have you ever ate this type of bajra rotis, right? It's very good, right? Put so much of ghee on it and eat. You will enjoy it. So talking about bajra, basically it is grown in sandy soil. See the difference, right? Here jowar is a crop which requires so much rain. Bajra is a crop which do not require so much rain. So remember, likewise, make it as a story. So bajra grows well on a sandy soil, shallow black soil, particularly grown in Rajasthan, UP, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Last and the very important, that is ragi, right? Ragi is also a crop of dry region. It is also a crop of dry region. It is well grown in the red soil, right? Black soil, shallow soil, like shallow black soil. Okay, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand and Arunachal Pradesh are the region where Rabi is grown. Now I know everyone studying here, watching my video might be thinking, ma'am, so many states are given. We will definitely get confused after reading that. Am I saying correct? Yes, I know. I know your inner feelings, right? So beta, for this chapter specially, I want that whenever you read the chapter either from NCERT or you watch my video, I need a blank map alongside. Right? While having the map, now while reading wheat, mark the states which are producing wheat so much. Right? Next, cut to when you're reading rice, mark the maps. So this is how, whenever you read geography, visualizing the things, then it is perfect. So visualize, oh, wheat, northwest region, this states. Mark it right then. Okay? This is needed to be followed. And whenever there are so many states given, just read the most important producing states, not everything. Okay, so a tip from my side to my students, moving with maize, makka, you might have seen this, corn we call it. So this is maize. Makke ki roti and sarso da saag is very popular for Punjabis. So it is used both as a food crop for humans and fodder crop for animals. Do remember, it is used both as a food and a fodder crop because we know that there are so much of leaves after we take out the main part of this maize. It is a Kharif crop, require high temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is a Kharif crop. Which type of crop it is, bacha? It is a Kharif crop and it requires the temperature between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, grows well in old alluvial soil. And do you know, very interesting fact about maize. All over India, maize is a Kharif crop. Okay, I just told you twice that maize is a Kharif crop. Say after me, maize is a Kharif crop, but in Bihar. Biharis are different all the way, okay? So, but in Bihar, it is a Rabi crop. Now, why, ma'am? We are not studying chemistry, that here also exception came. So, look, beta. Why in Bihar it is a Rabi crop? Because talking about the river Ganga and the tributaries of river Ganga, Gandak, Kosi, etc. Right? It creates a flood affected area, particularly in rainy season, where growing crops become so difficult in that time. So hence, during the time the Kharif season is there, Bihar is not a region where crops can be grown, else they will be destroyed. So, in the fear of destruction basically, or to prevent the crops from getting distracted, this is grown in Rabi season, and as the soil is moist over there, it facilitates its growth. So, will you forget it? No. Say no. No, ma'am, will not forget it, because maize is a Kharif crop, but in Bihar it is a Rabi crop. The major producing areas are Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Okay, done with the maize? Sorry, done with the maize? Yes. So what up till now we have studied? Ma'am, we have done rice, then we have done what? Then we have done wheat, then we have done millets, and then we have done maize. And the next important food crops, grains are pulses, dal, right? No Indian food is complete without dal chawal. Do you agree? Yes, I love. Like at least in a day, we need dal chawal, okay? And particularly in South India, what I am witnessing since some time, that people just love eating rice, right? And rice is incomplete without dal. So let us talk about some pulses here. Do you know, India, very important fact is that India is the largest producer of what? Pulses. And we eat what we produce, because we are largest producer of pulses as well as largest consumer of pulses too. Isn't it interesting? So India is the largest producer as well as largest consumer of pulses in the world. Okay, and yes, it is major source of protein. When you will go to the gym, the gym owner will ask you, don't eat roti. Okay, don't eat rice, but drink bowl of dal. Okay, particularly moong dal, it has so much of protein. So yes, it is major source of protein. Major pulses are tur. In some areas it is also known as arhar dal, urad, moong, masoor, peas, chana dal. Okay, matar dal and gram, that is chana dal. Very important fact about pulses is that it is leguminous crop, right? So you, the students of bio, studying bio since so much of time, I hope you know the meaning of leguminous, but I will tell you because I don't want anyone to miss it. Basically, leguminous crops are the types of crops, right, which help the soils to get nitrogen from air and fix it to the soil. So basically they are known as nitrogen fixation crops. They help it. Okay, so they are leguminous crops. Okay, major producing areas are Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. Do remember? Yeah, some of the states are just repeating again and again. Okay, see, make a chart and see which states are in all of the producing crops. Add them. Work smartly. This is the time to study smart, not study everything. Okay, but do not forget the major states, beta. That's very important. So it's Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. Okay, done with pulses. Moving towards the crops that are not grains. Okay, moving towards the crops that are not anaj for you. It's not rice, it's not wheat. Rather, let us talk about sugar cane, right? Look, sugar cane is very important. You cannot assume your cold coffee on your table without sugar. Not at all possible. I am a big foodie, right? I don't know about you, but every day I wake up, I just think about one thing, what to eat today. And after not living in home, right, coming to another city, the most and the important target of mine is to eat food. And sweets has a very important place in that. That sweets are only possible with the sugar cane, with the agriculture of sugar cane. So it is grown in the region of tropic and subtropic region. So if you remember, we studied in class 10, there is equator in between the earth. Dividing earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Above that there are two important latitudes, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this region between Tropic of Cancer to Capricorn is referred as tropical region. What? Tropical region. And the region above that is known as subtropical region. The sugarcane is grown in tropical as well as subtropical region. Now as it is tropical region near to equator, temperature will be high, humidity will be high. So how much temperature? 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, and the rainfall should be between 75 to 100 degree. Sorry, it cannot be degree. 75 to 100 centimeters. Okay, will you remember that? I'll make it again. Sugarcane grown in tropical, subtropical region. Okay, tropic region will have high temperature, that is between 21 to 27 degrees Celsius, high humidity, and will result in good amount of rainfall. But rainfall here will vary from one place to another between 50 to 75 centimeters. Okay, it is second. India is second largest producer after Brazil. Do remember, here it is not China, right? It's not mandatory that everywhere there will be China. So India is second largest producer after Brazil. It is main source of sugar, gur, khansari and molasses. Okay, it is main source of what? Sugar, gur, khansari and molasses. Major producing areas are Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. Do you know, I'll tell you, the majority of sugar canes are grown in the Uttar Pradesh. Don't forget that. Alluvial soil is there, good amount of rainfall is there, right? Good amount of area, big state now. UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. Then come to South, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. These are the major sugarcane producing regions, right? This industry gives us good jaggery, khansari, right? You might have seen small crystals of, like large crystals of sugars, molasses. We even have it in prasads also. So this is the importance of sugarcane agriculture, right? And next important, that is oil seeds. So oil seeds are very, very important because these oil seeds only give us what? Oil. Oil due to which our food is being prepared. No Indian food is possible without oil, right? We have a layer of oil on the food. So in 2020, according to the data of 2020, whatever I'm telling you, that this is the largest producer, second largest producer, etc. This is the data according to 2020. NCERT has not, what we can say, given us a data after 2020. So India was second largest producer of groundnut in the world. You know what is groundnut? Moongfali. And moongfali oil is majorly used in the food products. So yes, India was the second largest producer of groundnut in the world. Do you know major oil seeds are groundnut, moongfali, mustard, sesame, sunflower oil, soya bean oil, castor oil, coconut oil, and many more. Got it? So, but why I have not taken it? This is not seed. So, major oil seed, coconut, mustard, sesame, sunflower, soya bean, castor, etc. Most of them are edible, right? I have used the word most of them are edible and are used as a cooking medium. It is used as a cooking medium, groundnut particularly. Okay, again we came to what? Groundnut, because India is second largest producer of groundnut. Majority of what we can say Indians, particularly North India, Northwest India, Northeast India and Deccan India, make food using this groundnut. Okay, moongfali oil. Okay, Kharif crop, it is a Kharif crop. Gujarat is largest producer, followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Other than that, we have linseed and mustard, Kharif crop. Do remember, linseed and mustard is a Kharif crop. Okay, groundnut is a Kharif crop. Sesame is a Kharif crop in north and Rabi in south. Same issue, rain wala. Okay, sesame is a Kharif crop in north and Rabi in South India. Castor seeds, particularly castor oil, I think you have heard it. So castor seed is both Rabi and Kharif crop. It is both Rabi and Kharif crop. So hope this is quite clear to you guys. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Look, talking about the oil seeds, what I know is either it will come as a 2-marker question or it's very important for MCQs. Other than that, you need to just put so much efforts in revising. It is a Kharif, it is a Rabi, it is... Okay, get my point? There are so much thing from this chapter, and definitely they will ask you something that is competency based, not something that you just need to read and mug up and be a rattu tota. No, they don't want to make you like that. Okay, so oil seeds, after oil seed we have beverage crop. Again, I should tell you that tea was not in India before the coming of Europeans, but now the condition is such that we are the largest consumer of tea in the world, right? Our morning does not start with tea. Even I have seen families drinking tea after dinner. Okay, so look, this is a beverage crop, tea. It is basically, it's caffeine oriented and it keeps you alive. And there are people who drink tea after dinner also. So in India, right, tea stalls are working more than anything. We know the famous personality is making the tea stalls so larger. So let us learn about this beverage crop, tea. It is basically plantation cultivation. Okay, it's not farming. It is a plantation cultivation, right? Plants, now see, in farming what happens na? Like this is a land, okay? This is a land and you are a farmer. Hello Mr. Farmer, how are you? He will say, I'm not okay, I have to work so much. So here is a farmer. He will grow rice during the Kharif season. And after that, he will grow wheat in the Rabi season. Between that, he also everyone becomes greedy, everyone wants money, na? Between that, he will think to grow cucumber. During the time, it's dry, what we can say, dry region, okay? Now, in the same field of land, he is growing 3 types of crops. But in plantation cultivation, this isn't possible. In this acres of land, you will only grow one plant throughout the year. And hence this is known as what? Plantation cultivation. And this is majorly a commercial type of farming. What it is? Commercial type of farming. Okay, so yes, tea is a plantation cultivation, majorly grown in tropical and subtropical climate. I just told you what's tropical and subtropical, right? It is grown in deep and well drained soil, and that's definite. It must be in alluvial soil. Okay, alluvial soil which have good humus content and organic matter. If you remember the chapter resource and development, then only you can understand how I am figuring out the soils. Okay, so revise it once again. Require warm, it's not warm, it's warm and moist free climate all throughout the year. So basically, like talking about tree plant, na, there should not be so much of moist. It should not be having so much of what we can say like in the climate of Bangalore, so much moisture. If we talk about coastal plains, so much of moisture, so this should not be there, right? It is labor intensive industry, yes, right? It requires more number of people, so many of labor, because you know every leaf of that tree plant particularly, is plucked by hand. If you have seen in movies, they're taking what we can say bucket in the behind, right, made of bamboo or something. They pluck the leaves and put it in the behind. Similarly, so it is a labor intensive industry. Most tea producing regions are in Assam, okay, hills of Darjeeling, what we have seen in some of the movies, Jalpaiguri district, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, okay. And India is second largest producer of tea after China. Whenever I will say after, you will understand it's China. But do you know we are the largest consumer of tea in the world? But second largest producer of tea after China. Okay, moving to the next one, that is coffee. And you might be thinking, ma'am, hold on now, because we are studying from around 1 hour and everything is like hitting like this and going like this. So beta, do you remember your scores in half yearly? If not, recall it, reset yourself, refocus yourself and restart with coffee. So Indian coffee is known as best coffee in the world. So you might be thinking, oh, the coffee we were not aware about before Europeans. Now we are producing best coffee in the world. Yes. The variety of coffee, that is Arabica, right? It was basically brought from Yemen to India. And it's grown widely. Initially, when Britishers came and introduced us coffee, it was only done in Baba Budan Hills. Okay, it was only done in Baba Budan Hills. But now it is practiced in Nilgiris in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So basically, the shift is seen from Baba Budan Hills to Nilgiris in Karnataka. It's grown in Tamil Nadu as well as in Kerala. Okay, so getting the things in the mind or not, or everything is just running and moving out. Don't worry, make notes. You will revise it again and again. Okay, after beverage crop, we have horticulture crop, right? Before moving to horticulture crops, I want to tell you what is horticulture. The fruits and the vegetables. Pay attention. The fruits and the vegetables are together known as horticulture. Okay, what we can say, the cultivation, the art of cultivating fruits and vegetables is known as what? Horticulture. What's agriculture? The art of growing crops. So art of growing fruits and vegetables is India is largest producer of fruit and vegetable throughout the world after China. Everything after China. Not to be proud of that. Okay. India is largest producer of fruits and vegetables throughout the world after China. There are some famous types of fruits and vegetables that is known from that particular place, like mangoes from Maharashtra, Ratnagiri ke Aam, if you remember. Yeah, I just love the summer season because of mangoes. Do you like it? Comment down if you like it. And which variety of mango do you like? There are so many varieties of mangoes in India. And I'll tell you somewhere in some of the videos when we will be generally talking about the topics, the names of mangoes have interesting stories, right? I'll tell you someday. So mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur, very very famous, and Chiramunji also. Bananas of Kerala, banana chips, my favorite. Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapple from Meghalaya. Oh, pineapple from Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. Apple, pure apricot, walnuts from nowhere. Just what we can say, the heaven of India, that is Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. So apple, apricots, walnuts and pears, all are very very famous from Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. So here are the list of some important horticulture crops. Study them because very important it is. Question can come here is, write a short note on what? Horticulture crop. Write a short note on horticulture crop. Okay, so we have done grains. We have done the crops other than grains, sugarcane like we have done. Then we have studied what? We have studied beverage crops also. Okay, this is also one of the category in non-grain items. Now it is non-food crops, the crops that we don't eat. Okay, most important among that is rubber. So basically, very important. Yes, it is a crop. Talking about rubber crop, it is grown in equatorial region. Basically, see, if we talk about India's southern tip, we also even have here the island that is Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, so badly done, Andaman and Nicobar. Talking about this, here, if you remember the southernmost latitude of India, it's 8 degrees 4 minutes in the north. And we are not so far, we are just 8 degrees far from equator. And the region near to the equator is known as what? Equatorial region. So rubber, yes, it is grown this region of India. It is grown in this region of India. But yes, look here, not only equatorial region, under some conditions which are required, if we make it artificially, it can be grown in tropical and subtropical region also. And India is a tropical and subtropical country, we know that, right? We have Tropic of Cancer passing from the mid of India, which make this region as tropical and this region as subtropical. Okay, so we have good criteria for that. Basically, it requires humid climate, obviously. Now, as it requires equatorial region, high temperature, high humidity, very high rainfall. Do remember, high temperature, high humidity, very high what? Rainfall above 200 centimeters. What is very high rainfall? Above 200 centimeters, and temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. Yes, it is high temperature. Right? Rubber is majorly used for industrial materials. It is used for what? Industrial materials. Okay, comment down. I want from you which type of industries use rubber as a raw material. Okay, it is grown in Kerala, no doubt, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar. This is why I made this Andaman and Nicobar, and also Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Why in Garo Hills? Because of the high rainfall. Good. We are moving towards the last stage of the chapter. Even I am feeling drained, bacha, now, but we'll complete it by today because I made the commitment that this month of October. If you have seen that strategy video of mine, right? Basically that video is about if you scored less marks in half yearly, no need to worry. Because we have a plan from October to January. And we are going to ace the preparation, right? If you're not watching this video in the month of October, don't you think that we will watch later. No, you need to watch it right now. Important chapter in terms of weightage also. Okay, so let us talk about some of the fiber crops. Now, there are crops which are fibrous in nature. They have fibers, right? Like cotton. The t-shirt we are wearing right now is made up of cotton. Cotton is grown as a crop. It's not like something made from artificial thing, plastic or cotton. Jute, right? If you're belonging to a village area, right? Like previously, we will see that every household will have a place where their clothes are being hung, right? So that they can get dry. On the ropes, now it is replaced by nylon ropes, but previously it was jute, right? Living in this region, you might have seen the boris, right? It's not paper bag we use today, it's boris we used earlier. That was made up of what? Bag, no, jute bags. Okay, hemp is intoxicating. Now the next one, that is silk. Okay, yes, that silk, it is somewhere from the crop. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, silk is obtained from silkworm, but where do we find that silkworm? On a crop. Mulberry silk on a mulberry crop. Get my point? So this is how somewhere directly or indirectly these fiber crops are obtained from agriculture, from crops. Okay, so we will be talking about cotton, and India is the homeland of cotton plant. Yes, like Europeans were so much attracted to India because we have very fine quality of cotton. So yes, India is original homeland for cotton plant. We are second largest producer of cotton after China. Okay, so we are second largest producer of cotton after China. It grows well in drier parts of black cotton soil. So when we were reading soil from which chapter? From the chapter Resource and Development, again and again I have noticed that I have said that black soil is known as cotton soil. Why? Because cotton is majorly grown in that region. It requires high temperature, light rainfall. Do remember, no more rainfall, light rainfall, and this is very important. Trust me, this is your MCQ for final exam. Yes. So 210 frost-free days. Which crop requires 210 frost-free days? My students will definitely answer now. Okay, so yes, it is cotton and it needs bright sunshine for its growth. It is a Kharif crop. Major cotton producing areas, exactly the one which have black soil, like Maharashtra, Gujarat, even Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil region, and some parts of Punjab, Haryana and UP, right? So you remember the major regions of black soil only. That's more than enough for you. Don't need to study whatever, everything is given in NCERT. Study smart. Moving to the next one, that is jute. If you have seen such type of things around you. So jute is also known as golden fiber, right? It is basically a little goldish in color, right? And according to its importance also, it is referred as golden fiber. One more MCQ for you. Also known as what? Golden fiber. Grows in well-drained fertile soil having high temperature. Majorly found in West. Acha, I will tell you a story regarding this. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. So it is grown in West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha and Meghalaya. Let me tell you that this jute, for its growth, requires high rainfall as is required by rice. As it is required by rice. Basically, somewhere around 100 centimeter. Got the point? Now, in India, this much rainfall is found in northeastern part or states like West Bengal, Odisha, okay, see Assam again northeast and Meghalaya. Now, why I am telling that? Because if we look at the map of India and consider this as Bengal, right? Just right after Bengal, we have a nation that is Bangladesh. Do we have it? Yes. So now this is what? West Bengal. And earlier this was what? East Bengal. When India was not separated before 1947, we were the largest producer of jute in the world. Okay, we were the largest producer of jute in the world. But now as this area is divided, major jute producing region went to Bangladesh. It went to what? Bangladesh. But still we have parts of India where jute is majorly grown and West Bengal is one among them. Do you guys get it? So remember this point, we are talking here about what? Jute. Okay, so a quick revision, it is also known as golden fiber, grown in the region of tropics and subtropical region. It requires high rainfall above 100 centimeter and the states which produces ample amount of jute is West Bengal, Odisha, state of Assam and Meghalaya. And here we have completed jute, right? So take a deep breath because we here have completed the major crops of India. We started with grains, right? Then we have seen some crops that were not granular, that's not grain or type of food crops. Then we moved to beverage crops. We have seen sugarcane, non-food crops, and we have seen fiber crops as well. This is the last topic of the chapter, but for sure this is going to come as a 5-marker question in your exam, right? Stick that in your mind that this is permanent 5-mark question from this topic. What are the technological and institutional reform introduced in India, right? And here we are talking about for agriculture. So with agriculture, see, India, a nation which was under the clutches of colonial rule for more than 200 years, right? During the time of First World War, or let it be the time of Second World War, they have just used India as much as possible, right? Not only for what we can say gold they have taken, they have made us agriculturally very backward country, because farmers were merely treated as laborers, slaves over the land, okay? They became the owner of land gradually, right? And this resulted in devastation of Indian agriculture, led the people to face famine, right? Led the people to be economically backward. So after independence, it was very obvious for the nation to work for agriculture, right? To work for agriculture. Do you know, first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, has proclaimed that the two important things on which our Indian society depend on is agriculture and irrigation. After that comes the industries. Because yes, 70% of Indian population works in agriculture sector. If they will not earn, the 70% will not eat. And if they will not grow, what the rest of 30% will eat. So they are very, very important for Indian economy. And yes, they are. So let us talk about the technological and institutional reforms introduced in Indian agriculture. The first among that is programs of collectivization, consolidation, abolition of zamindari system. Now see, what are these? Basically what happened now in the previous time, right? What was done, the zamindar used to own the land, right? They asked the laborers to work on the land, tilt on the land, producers, farmers particularly, get the grains from them, sold them in the market, give back the revenue to Britishers. So this pratha basically continued till ages. After independence, the zamindars have consolidated so much of land, right? It was collectivized in their hands. So the lands which prior used to be of the farmers now went into the hands of zamindar because of the zamindar practices, and Britishers used that practices to earn the revenue as more as possible. So the abolition of all these practices was very, very important. Change needed in the Indian society. We did it. Land reforms were our main focus by first 5-year plan. Yes, it was important. Again, I just told you between the year of 1960s to 1970s, right? We focused on transformation of Indian agriculture. By that time, two important revolution was launched. One is Green Revolution. Now, Green Revolution for wheat and rice. Other than that, we have White Revolution also. This was for the production of milk in India. So, this was for the production of milk. Some institutional reforms that was introduced, like provision of crop failure. This was major issue. If we talk about India's climate, it is monsoonal type of climate, right? We can't even judge that this region will face flood, this region will face drought, or this new disease will be spread in the crops. And in that time when crops fail, the farmers are devastated, because whenever they grow crops now, it requires a lot of investment and they don't have them in pockets. They either go to money lenders, small bank, or etc. Right? If crops got failed, that means their entire business got failed. How will they return that money? So in that cases, insurance is provided if there is drought, flood, cyclone, fire or disease. Good initiative by government. Other than that, they have established a separate type of bank, that is Grameen Bank. Okay, in rural area, targeting the roots of India. Okay, Grameen Bank, cooperative banks, so that they can provide loans to the farmers in the rural areas at low interest. Okay, next is Kisan Credit Card, very, very helpful. Personal accident insurance scheme. It may happen during the time of agriculture. They might caught by a machine or something like that. So during that time, PAIS, this insurance scheme was provided. Whenever you get accidentally affected during time agriculture, you can use it. Okay, special weather bulletins and agriculture programs for farmers. Like I remember an ad. In that ad, a farmer is sitting in the field and talking on a phone that I am growing this crop, which type of pesticides or fertilizer should I use? So they are like, see, they are how technologically we are merging the farmers with technology. Okay, so every information, like providing information to them, providing weather bulletins to them, so that they can be pre-planning their agriculture, everything. Okay, government also provides certain schemes like minimum support price. For an example, you are a farmer. Now you grow crop in your acres of land, but you do not have accessibility to market, or sometimes your crops are not as good as market requirement. Okay, so they will not be sold in a good, what we can say, base amount. Rather than selling it to the market, arranging everything, cold storage, etc. to sell them, rather you sell that to government. Right, okay, and in return government will declare a price to you prior to sowing of seeds. Okay, pre-price declared to you, that after your crop is done, this price will be definitely paid to you by government. So you're sure that this much I'm going to earn, right? So this will basically protect you from uncertainty of market charges. Okay, this will give you sure charge, that is MSP, minimum support price provided to you by the government. Okay, give me a thumbs up, because very, very like what we can say, what I can say is a very good thing if you are up till here in the video, because that means you're dedicated enough for your exam. That means you enjoyed the lecture, and that means that you learned whatever I told in the lecture, right? So it is the high time that we should practice what we learned. I'm just telling you some of the important questions and how questions can come from this topic. We will start with the first and the most important topic. What are the technological and institutional reform introduced in agriculture? Okay, question number 1. Question number 2, write in detail about 2 major crops of India. What you will write? Wheat and rice. Okay, 2 major crops of India. Okay, third is write in detail about beverage crop of India. The next one is question number 4. Then write about primitive subsistence cropping. Okay, now see, by this question I'm telling you 3 questions that can come separately: primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, and commercial cropping. All 3 can come as a short note. The next one, that is about write in detail about cropping pattern in India. Write in detail about cropping pattern in India. And my dear students, these are the 5 important questions from this chapter. Other than that, do not forget to revise all the crops I have given to you in this chapter. Okay, I just want to tell you one thing. Right in the end of your NCERT, a box is given. I could have skipped it, but I didn't want to skip it actually. Basically, it was a practice of bhudan or gramdan. Okay, what was it? So it was a practice of bhudan or gramdan. Okay, so bhu here means bhumi, land. Dan means grant given to you for free. Gram means village, given as grant. So this was basically a andolan. Okay, Bhudan Gramdan is basically a andolan started by Vinoba Bhave, one of the important freedom fighter, or what we can say important politicians that has shaped the Indian politics in the initial years during the time of freedom struggle. So what happened one day after independence, Vinoba Bhave went to a village. He was listening to the grievances of farmer, and suddenly a small farmer was crying that, "Sir, we have lost so much of lands to zamindars. We don't have anything now. We are merely the slaves," and etc. etc. One of the zamindar who own acres of land because of grants by the Britishers, right? So he stood and said that, "Okay, don't worry. Let me give you some amount of land to you. Let me give it as a grant to you, right? I'll name it after you." So from here, Vinoba Bhave just got an idea that, oh, India, such a generous people lives here. We can start an andolan that is known as Bhudan Gramdan, where people, by their wishes, who holds n number of acres of land, can give small portion of lands to the people who are needy. Okay, this is known as Bhudan Gramdan, and sometimes comes as MCQ, or there are chances it may not come. Okay, so here is all about the chapter. We are at the end of our classes. And this chapter agriculture is done for today. Okay, hope you will be waiting for the next lecture, because very soon we are going to complete all the chapters of SST all in one YouTube channel, that is Diksha Vedantu. Right? Do you know it's working from 27 years and they have multiple channels on YouTube, but this one, Diksha Vedantu for class 10th, is very special because this is only dedicated to class 10 students, where everything is being taught in English, and it's crazy because you are going to write your exam in English, so you need to learn in English. So if you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, just hit the subscribe button. Follow Diksha Vedantu for more such updates, such chapters for science, maths, SST, etc. Thank you for being the part of this chapter.